Hello dear students, welcome back. Today we are going to take up the second part of chapter number 2, acids, bases and salt. In a previous class we have learned about the physical properties of acids and bases. Above that we also had learned about the different type of reactions performed by acids and bases. Today we are going to discuss about the reactions of an acid or a base with water, the effect of pH on our day-to-day life, and some common chemical substances that are prepared by using common salt. So now let us take up the first topic. So the first topic is what happens to an acid or a base in a water solution. So in this we are going to see what actually happens to the molecules of the acid or a base when they are mixed with the water. All the acids, when they are mixed with water, they produces hydrogen ion which carries positive charge. This hydrogen ion is very unstable. Because of that, it is not able to exist in the nature independently or freely. So as soon as the hydrogen ion is formed, the hydrogen ion will again react with the remaining amount of the water to form another ion known as hydronium, which has the formula of H3O. This hydronium ion also carries positive charge. The hydronium ion is more stable than the hydrogen ion. Because of that, as soon as the hydrogen ion is formed, it will gets converted into hydronium ion. So this happens in case of the acid. Doesn't matter whether the acid is an organic acid or a mineral acid. Organic acids are the ones which are often from a living source or a living organism, while the mineral acids are the ones which are not often from a living organism and it is prepared by using minerals. So this is about the reaction of acids and water. Now let us come to the reaction of a base with water. Bases, when react with water, they form an ion which carries negative charge. The ion that is formed, it is known as hydroxide ion. So this is how the bases react with the water. So the strength of the acids and the base depends upon the amount of hydrogen ion or the hydroxide ion that is produced by the acids and the base respectively. If there is a production of more amount of hydrogen ion by an acid, then the acid is considered to be a strong acid. And in case of the base, if the amount of hydroxide ion that is produced when it is mixed with the water is more, then we consider that base as a strong base. So this is about the strength of the acid and the base. Now let us see how the strength of the acid and the base are measured. The strength of an acid and a base is measured by the help of an indicator known as universal indicator on a scale known as pH scale. pH, the full form in the English word we can say in simple form power of hydrogen. That means how much amount of hydrogen ion is produced by the acid or a base. So the pH scale have a marking from 0 to 14. In the middle, the pH 7, it is for the neutral substance. That means the neutral substance which are neither acidic nor base, they have a pH of 7. With the decrease in the pH scale or the pH meter, the strength of the acid increases. So the strongest acid have a pH of 0. And with the increase in the pH, the basic nature of the substance increases. That means the acid have a pH ranging between 0 to 7 pH, while that of the base have a pH more than 7, or we can say that it is between 7 to 14. While the pH 7 is for the neutral substances. Now let us see about the effect of pH on our day-to-day life. Now let us see about the importance of pH in our everyday life. The pH have a great impact on the life of living organisms. All the living cells can survive in a pH range between 7 to 7.8. If the pH drops down below 7 or if the pH is more than 7.8, then the survival of a living cells will be difficult. Now let us see one by one the importance of pH in everyday life. The first importance is about the survival of living organism. As now I told, The survival of the living organism takes place between a pH range of 7 to 7.8. If the pH is less than 7 or if the pH is more than 7.8, then the survival of living organism will be impossible. Sometimes, a natural phenomenon known as acid rain takes place. Acid rain is caused due to the increase in the amount of pollutants in the atmospheric air. The phenomenon of acid rain takes place when there is an increase in the air pollutants in the atmospheric air, which when mixed with the atmospheric water vapor or which when mixed with the rainwater, it gets converted into the acidic nature. So when this acidic nature rain falls on the earth's surface, we call it as the acid rain. So this acid rain, when it falls on the earth's surface and when the acidic rainwater mixed with the water bodies, then it converts the nature of the water bodies into acidic. So if the water in the water bodies turns into acidic, then the survival of living organism in the water bodies will be impossible. So this is the first importance of pH in the everyday life. Now let's come to the second one. The next importance is the pH related to the soil. Soil, as we know, it is the medium on which the plants grows, from which we obtain different type of important components. It may be food or it may be medicinal value. So the growth of the plant in the soil takes place in the neutral medium. If the soil turns out to be basic or if the soil turns into acidic, then the growth of the plant will be impossible. So before growing a plant, we have to first check the pH of the soil. Most of the time, the pH of the soil gets converted into acidic nature, which affects the growth of the plant. So if the soil turns out to be acidic, we have to mix a basic substance into the soil so that the acidic nature of the soil can be neutralized and the growth of the plant will be improved. So the most common basic substance that is mixed with the acidic soil is the slag lime, that is tuna. When this slag lime, which is basic in nature, it is mixed with the acidic soil, then the acidic nature of the soil is reduced and it gets converted into a neutral substance. So when the soil turns into a neutral medium, then the growth of the plant will be improved. Now let's come to the next importance. The next importance is the pH in our digestive system. The digestive system is the organ system present inside the human body which helps in the digestion of different food components. The digestion process takes place in different parts of the digestive system. The digestion starts from the mouth and it ends in the small intestine. Inside the stomach, the digestion of food takes place in an acidic medium. While in the small intestine, it takes place in a basic medium. In the stomach, if acidic medium is not created, then the digestion of the food materials will not be possible. While in the small intestine, if there is no creation of basic medium, then in that case also the digestion will be impossible. So in the stomach, in order to create this acidic medium, the wall of the stomach contains a gland known as the gastric gland. This gastric gland produces a juice known as gastric juice, which includes an acid known as hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid helps in creating an acidic medium. But sometimes during indigestion, the amount of hydrochloric acid that is produced by the gastric gland is in a very high amount, which used to cause pain and irritation, and we say that we are suffering from gastric or acidity. So in order to control or in order to cure this acidity, we consume a basic substance known as antacid. Antacid, it is anti-acid. The most common antacid that we consume is milk of magnesia, which actually is magnesium hydroxide. So this is about the effect of the pH in our digestive system. Now let's come to the next importance. The next importance is pH change as the cause of tooth decay. Inside our mouth, when we consume any type of food substance, sometimes some food particles used to remain sticking in between the teeth. These food materials are fed upon by the bacteria that is present in the mouth. During this time, the bacteria produce acidic substances. So when the medium of our mouth turns out to be acidic, and if the pH drops below 5.5, then the enamel of the teeth gets corroded or damaged. When the enamel of the teeth gets corroded, then it used to cause tooth decay. Brushing our teeth regularly by using a basic substance is very important. The toothpaste that we use for brushing our teeth, they are actually basic in nature. So using the toothpaste, which are basic in nature, is very important and necessary to control tooth decay so that the pH of our mouth can be brought above 5.5. So now let us come to the next importance. The next importance is regarding the animals and the plants. Some animals and plants that are present in our surrounding, they produce acidic substance for their own self-defense. For example, nettle leaf. The nettle leaf used to have small thorns or tiny thorns. When we touch this needle-like structure on the nettle leaf, it used to inject methanoic acid inside our body, which causes pain and irritation. Another example of an animal or living organism which produces acid for self-defense is the ant. The sting of the ant or the bees also contains acidic substance which when injected to our body used to cause pain and irritation. So when we are stung with the thorn or the needle of the nettle leaf, or when we are being bitten by the ant or the bees, the sting area we have to apply basic substance. One of the most common basic substance that we use in our home are the toothpaste, soap or baking soda. So when we apply the toothpaste or the soap solution or the baking soda on the area of the sting, then the pain and the irritation can be reduced. It is because the basic substance that we apply on the area of the sting neutralize the acid that got injected inside our body by the living organisms. So this is how we can control or we can reduce the pain and irritation caused by the sting of the ant or the bees or the needles of the nettle leaf. So these are the importance of the pH in our day-to-day life. Now let's come to the next topic. The last topic for today's class is the chemicals from common salt. The common salt, that is sodium chloride, that we use in our kitchen is one of the most important ingredients for obtaining many other chemical substances of great importance in our day-to-day life. Now let us see one very common chemical reaction that is performed on the common salt to obtain many other products. The chemical reaction that we are going to discuss now is known as the color-alkali process. In this color-alkali process, we are going to perform electrolysis on the brine solution. Brine solution is a concentrated solution of the common salt. So let us see the reaction that takes place here and let us discuss what are the things that happens in this color-alkali process. In the color-alkali process, we are going to use brine solution, which is a mixture of sodium chloride and water. So in this solution, we are going to dip two electrodes which are connected with the positive and the negative terminal of the battery. The electrode, they are the rod-like structure or they are the substances which help in transferring electricity to a liquid substance. The electrode which is connected with the positive terminal of the battery, it is known as the anode, while the other electrode which is connected with the negative terminal of the battery, it is known as the cathode. So in this container, we are going to put the brine solution. Between these two electrodes, we are going to insert a semi-permeable membrane which allows the passage of only selective substances in a particular direction. So when we pass electric current, the sodium chloride as well as the water molecule will be broken down into their constituent components. So sodium chloride, when electricity is passed, it will be broken down into sodium ion which carry positive charge and chloride ion which carries negative charge. At the same time, the water molecule also will be broken down to form hydrogen ion and oxygen ion. The hydrogen ion carries positive charge while the oxygen ion carries negative charge. So the positive charge ion, that is the sodium ion and the hydrogen ion, will get transferred or attracted towards the cathode which is connected with the negative terminal of the battery. While that of the negative charge ions, that is the chloride ion, and that of the oxygen ion will get attracted towards the positive electrode. So during this process, the chloride ion which carries negative charge, when it comes near to the anode, then it will get converted into chlorine gas and it will get escape out through this opening where this chlorine gas can be collected. While that of the hydrogen ion which carries positive charge, when it comes near to the cathode, it will get converted into hydrogen gas and it will get removed out through this outlet and it will get collected separately. While the sodium ion which carry positive charge, hydrogen ion, some amount of it which carry positive charge, and the oxygen which are left over, they combine together near to the cathode and it forms another substance known as sodium hydroxide. So during this color-alkali process, we obtain three different substances. They are chlorine gas, hydrogen gas, and sodium hydroxide. These three substances are separated out and they are being used separately in different fields depending upon their requirement. So this is about the color-alkali process. So these are the things that we studied today. The remaining portion of this chapter we will come across and discuss in the next video class. So for today, let us wind up here, dear students. Thank you.